Hello, hello. We are now joined by Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin, who is set to face Michael Zerafa on September 12th on the installment of Premier Boxing Champions. That'll be on NBC, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, Quillin, Mr. Kid Chocolate. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Always a pleasure to speak with you when you jump in with us. Talk to us a little bit about this fight, how it got made, and a little about your opponent and what we should expect to see.
I want to be really, really honest with y'all. So I've just been training since before my birthday, before I turned 32. I've been in the gym, I've been in the gym since after my fight this past April. In and out the gym, then I started going heavy in June. Just staying in shape, staying ready for whatever person they call me for. You know what I'm saying? I could have assumed a Andy Lee rematch, whatever. I was just staying ready for whoever they called me for. And this whole Jacobs thing, came about where he's calling me out and he want to fight with me. So it's like, what do I do? Do I stay in shape and ready for a possible fight with me and him could happen before the end of the year? So they was looking at some possible opponents, and a lot of them that if I named them, you'd be surprised that they didn't take a fight with me. But it's cool, and this is a business, and they got me this guy. I don't really know much about him, and I figure, these kind of guys be the dangerous guys because everybody is looking to make a name for themselves. So it don't matter for me who I fight. It's just I feel like everybody has the decency with one punch that could change a whole fight. To come in and shock the world, or either me just keep doing what I usually do. So what I'm basically saying is I don't know really much about this guy, but I learned right there in that ring that night of the fight.
Definitely.
Okay.
Ryan, go ahead.
Was Michael Zerafa the only person that agreed to take the fight?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We try to get Matthew Macklin. You know what I'm saying? The fight never. I guess that couldn't happen. A few other names. You know what I'm saying? That fight couldn't happen. So like I said, I don't want to be jumping things. I'm really looking for a possible matchup with me and Danny Jacobs here in Brooklyn. That'll be an extremely huge payday and a good fight for me. So, besides the fact of that, like it's an opportunity for me to just stay ready and stay in shape.
Okay, so Zerafa being 23 years old with a 17-1 record, he pretty much has nothing to lose going into this fight. So, what would you expect from him in the ring?
Expect him to come at his best because he's fighting one of the best fighters in the world. So you can only expect. It's kind of hard for me to expect anything worse of a person. I always try to expect somebody who can be at their best, and I think I only expect good things out of people. So. I don't ever have a mindset like I'm going to destroy this guy, I'm going to knock him out. That's the way I train, and if everything I do in training comes out, then that's what happened. But, who am I to say those things? So, like I said, I just expect him to be at his best and, put up a good fight, a good test, and, we'll see if he's able to, survive what I've been doing in camp.
Okay. Ishmael, you can get the next question.
Peter, I wanted to ask you, I know when you turned down the Cordoba fight, you were really confident that you would get a lot of big fights over the next year or so. The Jacobs fight is on the horizon, so that's one fight that you at least have to look forward to. That's a big fight. Do you see any other fights as far as the other champions? Do you see those being feasible in the future based on the way things have been going in the middleweight division?
I don't really see how that can happen unless they come to terms that they can work with Al Heyman, who's brought boxing back to free on the free network. And I think anything is possible for Al. So, it could or it could not be. Maybe I need to assume that I may have to move up in weight very soon, Who knows? Only the future is able to tell those type of things. But, my job is to stay ready, man, stay focused, man. When saying what kind of fights could have been made, a lot of fights could have been made. And a lot of people think I don't take fights or I say no to fights, and that's not the way it happens behind the scenes. It just happens the way it happened because of business, or this person don't do business with that person, and it's just a whole political game behind the scenes that people don't, the fans don't get to see. And for me to be acting like a politician. And I try not to get frustrated trying to explain myself what goes on behind the scenes.
Gotcha. So when you're looking at potential opponents, do you go to Al with some opponents that you would like to fight, or do you wait for him to come to you with a list of guys that may be on the table for you?
I had a list before with, what we was talking about before, of guys that would be good fights, and I came with my list, and I said Felix, not in any order, but I thought Felix Stern, Andy Lee, Danny Jacobs, and David Lemieux. You know what I'm saying? So I had those things in mind, and we try to figure out which one will be the best fight. And Andy Lee ended up coming out. He was a holder of the belt that I previous held, and for me, it was a good fight for me to have against him on my record, even though it was a draw. And a lot of people may thought I won, or some people may thought I lost, but it was a fight all around, and I gained some experience. But like I said, it's, for me, man, I come from the hood, bro. I don't have a college education and all the things that a lot of people in this country do get to have and have a good job. So I think around this time of my life, being 32 years old, I have to make the best decisions, especially having a kid that's going to give me, some good fights with some good money that I can try to set up my son's life, that he don't have to struggle the way I struggled growing up.
My last question for you is, you mentioned possibly having to move up. How long do you see yourself staying at middleweight?
I don't know, maybe a few more fights, and then I'm going to just probably go up and wait.
Cool. Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. What's the contracted weight for the Zerafa fight?
163 pounds.
Okay. And you said if you win this fight, Danny Jacobs would probably be next before the end of the year.
Yes.
Well, I guess my only other question is, what is different in training camp now that you've experienced? You're still undefeated, but you have that blemish, the draw on your record. Like, is anything different, preparing for a fight now as compared to before?
I'm training in New York. I got a new situation at Eastern Athletic Club in Brooklyn because of the late, great Jose Torres. Before I was like where I'm at right now, over 10 years ago, he helped me get this membership at this gym that, I used to train at before I was a pro. I was an amateur, and, I made myself back there at that gym because it's like private for me. And, I learned, I got my two trainers working with me. I got Eric Brown and I got Raphael, because Eric is pretty busy with a lot of fighters, and Rafi is busy as well. But, I have the security of knowing that I got a cushion just in case one of them can't be with me right away, like when I need them, that I have some cushion to say that I can have a guy here getting me in shape for whoever, And I think I'm still making up some pieces of the puzzle that I know I'm going to need, where like maybe a conditioning trainer that I know I'm going to eventually need, somebody on a more professional level that I can work with. But right now, you just been working very hard, endless hours in the gym. I've been very motivated. I have my son in the gym for the last 2 days with me, And just like, I see what I'm working for. I'm trying to be smarter. I'm trying to get wiser. I'm trying to use what I've learned in my previous fights and my previous life to make myself as a better human and a better fighter.
Very good. Let me get your fight picks. Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders, Cotto versus Canelo, and Triple G versus David Lemieux.
I always let's go with Billy Joe Saunders and Andy Lee, okay? I don't really know much about Billy Joe Saunders besides he had a fight with somebody and it was like a controversial win, you know what I'm saying? Andy Lee, he's a tough warrior, and, at a big level, he hasn't, up until he got up to my fight, he always, looked pretty good, but, sometimes they never passed the test of just looking super spectacular, you know what I'm saying? Besides saying that you're tough, you know what I mean? Billy Joe Saunders, like I say, has a decent shot to, make a name for himself with this fight. So, I'm going to just say, since I don't know much about Billy Joe Saunders, it's going to be the best man winning that fight. Cotto versus Canelo, I think, I think Canelo's a very durable fighter when I see him fight. You know what I mean? He's pretty strong, and if you ever seen him, I've seen him in, California training, he's really, really durable, and he's really, really confident at this level of his life. And I think fighting Mayweather actually gave him some more decent experience that I've seen him use in the Angulo fight, that maybe he can use the same, thing that he learned with the Cotto. And I think Cotto, man, by having some losses on his record against some credible people, you know what I'm saying? And one of the losses, he regained the win with the Margarito, and that whole turmoil that he had with that one, that it's a really good fight, but I just see Canelo coming out with the edge on that fight. David Lemieux and Gennady Golovkin, I believe, I can never really go with a guy that already at this level, especially that got losses. David Lemieux, I know he's may have reinvented himself with, whatever past he was going through. I know at one point in time he was the prospect and the guy to watch for, had a network, 2 networks bidding for him, and, and him taking 2 losses against, I think one of the guys was against a Haitian guy. What was his name? I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Joachim Alcine.
Yeah. And I'm not to say he's not, it wasn't a credible win for Alcine, but, I think all around, when you got a guy that's hot as Gennady Golovkin, I think you always got to go with the guy that's already been proving himself over and over again in the previous fights.
Great. Thank you.
But Peter, you broke that down pretty quick. Maybe you should come on and host a show with us about once a month.
I would love to show my talent that I have in and out.
Yeah. You always gotta love a guy with high boxing IQ. Well, once again, for those of you listening, Peter will be fighting on September 12th on PBC on NBC against Michael Zerafa, contractor weight 163 pounds. Pretty quick turnaround getting you back in the ring. If you could plan out, obviously we're getting to the close of the year. Do you have a plan? Are you planning to fight any more after this before the end of the year?
Yeah, I'm looking to stay in shape and stay ready just in case something can work out, because, beginning of the year I set a goal for myself having 3 fights before the end of the year, and whatever happened in my last fight, I let it go, and now I'm moving to some more fights that if I can get in the ring 2 more times before the end of the ring, I will stay in shape and stay ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, that sounds great. Well, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck. We'll be watching in September and look to see you put on a spectacular performance.
All right, thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm training very hard. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to NBC on September 12th. Follow me at Kid Chocolate on Twitter as well as on Instagram. Hit my website up, www.kidchocolate.com. Be watching on my YouTube channel. I got some camp updates and some new videos coming very soon.
All right, that sounds great. Take care, Pete.
All right, God bless.
Take care, Pete.